And we are live. All right. Morning thoughts. Morning thoughts. Morning thoughts. Shout out to the people going out to work this morning. Shout out to the people coming in from work this morning. Extra special big up shout out to the people who work multiple jobs. I have the utmost respect for you. Shout out to my entrepreneurs, my stay at home moms and pops, my retirees. Shout out to the drivers. Shout out to the Uber driver, Lyft driver, truck driver, taxi driver, food delivery drivers, round town and long distance truck drivers. Shout out to the crossing guards. Shout out to the school teachers. Shout out to law enforcement personnel, medical field personnel, military personnel. Whatever it is your job description is, shout out to you. Shout out to every single clean hearted, good hearted person who wants good for others as much as you want good for yourself. You're a good person. Shout out to you. And on days like this, we say, it's the freaking weekend, baby. Ha ha. Clap it up. Clap it up. Clap it up. Yeah. You don't have access to this feature. It says, all right, it starts already. So let's get the disclaimers out the way. I already got the ether cord like King Big suggested, and I'm plugged in directly to the modem this morning. So I hope that nothing happens with our live. I can't see you on the screen that I'm broadcasting on, so I'm reading the comment section over here. So if you see me turning this way a lot, that's where my monitor is with my other stuff, which is much brighter than this one for some reason. This computer lighting is not up to par, but it's okay because we're here, right? And you can see me and you can hear me. Please let me know if you cannot hear me so I know to stop before we get into too much of anything. Let me do some shout outs because it's Friday morning, right? We made it through the week. We give thanks to the Most High for preserving us, for bringing us through the week. And we're going to have a festive Friday morning this morning. Great goodies. Thank you for being the first one in this morning. Miss Goldie Robinson is here. Unstoppable Josh is in the building. Patricia Thomas is with us. Audrey Wright, Senior Sexy, is in the building. Big up yourself, Audrey. Sharon Spence is in the building this morning. Big up SouFlo and family. Karen Notice is here. Says morning SouFlo and the family, and it's up, 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 and it's the freaking weekend, baby. Enough love and blessings to everyone. RR123 is in the building with us this morning. Asarin Odetta says good morning. 5463 all the way from England. Audrey says, hit the thumbs up button as you enter the live, please. It's 174 people in here. We have 43 thumbs up. It would be nice to one morning see 174 people in and 174 thumbs up. That would be super nice, right? All right. Ferron, thank you for being here this morning. I appreciate you greatly. Rasta Caribbean is in the building with us this morning. Michelle Taylor RN, put some respect on it, is with us. Karen Notice says loud and clear. All right. Kai Tai Jai Empress, big up yourself. Kai Tai Jai Empress. I always sound Chinese or Japanese or something when I say Kai Tai Jai Empress. Audrey says all classmates, morning. Christine Williams is in the building with us this morning. Christine, thank you for being here. Miss Goldie Robinson says it's glad to be back on U.S. soil. Miss Goldie Robinson, where did you go? Marilyn Grant says good morning, everyone, and please hit the thumbs up button as you enter the live. Onika St. John is in the building with us this morning. Let's Bond TV, big up yourself, bro. Thank you for being here this morning. Onika St. John says it's the freaking weekend, baby, and say no to freak offs. Say no to freak offs. Well, I don't know if you should say no to freak offs, you know. You can freak off if you want to freak off. Just don't get involved in freak offs and then blame somebody else when you get shame after what you're realizing what it is you've been doing. You know? And I feel like say you do it one time, you do it too many times to count till you even lose count of how many times you've done it, and then you blame somebody else because you know you just can't live with the self that you see in the mirror. You have to look by yourself after you do certain things. Yeah, you have to look at yourself after you do certain things, and you have to be able to say, self, that was us. We did that. Can you accept it? Can you live with it? All right. So that's the message. It's Friday. If you can't handle the freak offs, stay away from the freak offs. 5063 says it's a no for me. I cannot take shame. Reggae Girl says, SouFlo, I'm hiding from you this morning. I have some moringa in my cup this morning. Live on the air with SouFlo. Good morning.
SouFlo.
Yes, my brother. Bright and early.
Big up in the morning, bright and early.
Manners, start the one.
Here I go, I'm just make you know, say, me get the link. But no, me get the link. Daughter get the link.
Your daughter get the, all right. All right.
Big up
Manners.
the platform to that.
Manners.
Whosoever listen and put that out there, manners and respect.
Manners, a smile upon baby girl face, not true?
Yeah, man, a big smile, man.
All right, sir. Life is good. All right.
Yeah, man. So manners and respect for that. Now jump back in our chat there, you know it go.
All right, my brother.
Yeah.
Them something that me love to hear, you know. These are the things I love to hear. You see, people, we are affecting change, or we are a part of you know, upward mobile movement. We are a family over here. So if we take care of each other, look out for each other, speak up for each other, these kind of things. You know what I'm saying? No bad feelings about nothing. We just want to see good. All right. Yes. All right. So listen, these are we have 3 or 4 topics this morning. Super pressing, all of them. So we have the whole printout of the Cassie confessions, testimony, if you will. We have the whole printout of that. I'm going to go through that. Now, I want to tell you this. While I'm reading through it, because I have to read through it on the same screen that you are on, I'm going to go and talk to each other in the comment section. I will check in momentarily in the comment section, but don't be talking to me directly in the comment section while I'm reading, because I won't be able to see it. I will be reading. Come on, get the details out. We also have what transpired in court with Donna Lee Donaldson's mother taking the stand and saying one bag of things. I don't know why Donna Lee Donaldson's mother went up there and said Donna Lee left the house with our passport. But anyhow, either those are the 2 pressing topics. And then there is also a topic here, because some lady wrote into me, and I have the message she wrote right here, a very disgruntled message. If you look at our headline this morning, it says African Americans versus us. It's not US, it's us, as in Caribbean people. For some reason, apparently, a Jamaican woman was getting arrested, and the Jamaican woman that was getting arrested said to the police officer in the United States of America that was arresting her, why don't you go kill some Black Americans? Or why don't you go kill some African Americans? Well, apparently that has set off a firestorm like no other, and now they are on our backs again. Oh, shit. So that's how them Jamaicans see us? Oh, you know what I mean? They're going off. Me catch a stray. I caught a stray. I caught a stray because I pick up my phone. I said, let me check and see if anybody sent me nothing. And boom, one long message. You damn hypocrite. I know you saw it. Why don't you speak about it, huh? Just the fact that you didn't speak about it says volumes, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to read what them send come give me. And then we're going to talk about that. So those 3. And then the last one is kind of frivolous. If we get to it, we get to it. I won't even mention what it is until we get to it. But I promise you it's not really frivolous. Nothing is frivolous here. So what I will do now is you go ahead and choose. Do we start with Cassie, testimony transcript, or do we start with Donna Lee Donaldson, Noel Maitland's case, or do we start with the African Americans against us? I'm going to sip my tea for 60 seconds. You choose in the comment section, and I will shoot. You point, I shoot. All right, go. Starting off, great goodies, says Cassie. No sugar, no tea. Just some moringa and some mint. Donna Lee says, Dorothy T says, Donna Lee. Great goodies, says Cassie. RR123 says, big up, caller. You just made my weekend. Let's Bond TV says, African Americans versus us. Cassie said, more than want to get into the African Americans versus us and get the outside way to in about a cause. But we're going to go with what the temperature of the room is. Cassie, I say Cassie 5 Field 63 says Cassie. Kataja Empress says Donna Lee. Nan says Donna Lee. RR says Donna Lee. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Donna Lee. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Cassie. They're even. Marilyn Grant broke it. Says Donna Lee. 6 Donna Lee. 7 Donna Lee. Them versus us only have 3 for those. AA versus us 4 for those. African Americans 5 for those. Oh damn. Good morning everyone. Let's hear about our own. I don't know what that means. Kataja Empress. African American Cassie going on. Okay. Damn. That's 6. So African American versus us is now tied up with the lead, which is Donna Lee. Anika St. John says African Americans versus us has taken the lead. African Americans versus us 5, 4. Donna Lee is back even. 3, 2, 1. And it's a tie between African Americans versus us and Donna Lee. Somebody break the tie right now, please. Break the tie. African Americans versus us or Donna Lee. African American versus us it is. There we go. Let's watch TV break the tie. Well, I have to fast for the thing. All right, so African Americans versus us. Donna Lee is one of us. Okay, Dorothy T. Donna Lee is one of us. Me not understand that though in the moment, you know, because the Caribbean something too could mean that let's talk about us because we are Caribbean people. So let's talk about us. You confused me with that one there. All right, Donna Lee. African Americans versus us it is. Let me pull up my business phone real quick there. Open it up. Get into this. You know, let me tell everybody this while I'm sourcing this. It's in my message. It's in my chat box. Oh my God. I don't know if I find this now. What's up? Because something shows on television, right? Or because something is trending, it doesn't mean that I saw it. Because you see it, it don't mean to me did see it either. Right? Not everything that is viral in your end of the world is viral in my end of the world. Not everything that is important to you is big on the screen in front of my eyes to me. And now me lost it. How do I find it back? Okay, let's go to chats. Maybe update, communicate, calls. I don't want to really call this woman to do this for me, but so I have to find it myself. How do you find a message on WhatsApp? I'm not really in them thing, you know. And my WhatsApp is full. I just had the message. Give me a second there. How do you find a message on WhatsApp? Because WhatsApp not really like, you don't really just have like where you go to your messages kind of thing. No. Let's say something. Nope. That ain't it. Well, no, I forgot wait. All right. So anyway, when I find it, I'll find it and I'll read it for you. I got a message from somebody who was super disgruntled. The person says I'm a hypocrite because why am I not talking about this? And the fact that I'm not talking about it speaks volumes by itself. The person said there is a video out where, and I went and I looked for the video and I found it. There's a video out where a Jamaican woman is being arrested. She looked like she's in a mall or something like that. And she said to the police officer, a white police officer that's arresting her in the US, why don't you go kill some African Americans? What are you arresting me for? Something along those lines, right? Well, after that, I've seen a ton of videos from African Americans who are now vowing to separate themselves from Jamaicans, and some of them are like, I didn't even know Jamaicans think about us in this way. Damn, this is messed up. Others are like, I told you, I've been telling you they don't like us, and others are like, you know, nothing is good. Nothing good is being said about from the African Americans end. However, while they're busy doing that, You know, she went on to say, may I try to go off of remember after the till me find it. She went on to say, all we do is come here, fill our pockets with money, and something else. Me know say fill our pockets with money is one of them that's in there. And as long as we're able to do that, then we don't care about them. We never join them to fight for anything that benefits them, etc., etc. Like we are their enemies. And you know, she always heard it, but she never believed it. But now she sees it, and it's pretty clear to see, and them kind of something there. In the search bar, type in the person's name. Reggae girl, I don't know the person's name. I just saw the number. It's a 1202 number. I'm gonna put in 1202 and it's not coming up. There must be a way to find, like, just go to your messages. Like if somebody message you like a regular phone. Yeah, and that me can't find. I know it's a 202 number. Listen, because I know how crowded my WhatsApp is, I saved it. Like I just had the phone sitting there with it on front page. And I didn't want to. So as soon as I opened the phone, it would be there. But as soon as I opened the phone just now, I hit the back button and it went back into WhatsApp and reshuffled. So now I can't find it. But I'll say this. In the meantime, because we're not going to itch and try, I'm trying. This is how many, and no matter how I tell people, like, please just send me, like, you know, stuff will actually mean something. Them just send me any and everything. So my WhatsApp stays jammed up. The more I tell people, like, yo, don't call me unless it's business or call me for something important, them just ring off the phone all day. Them just send article after article after article. It's a business line, and they just jam up my stuff. See my WhatsApp here now. This is just my inbox. Watch this. I don't want to show nobody. I don't want to show anybody's info, but that's in there. You know, I would need a damn team to help me to go through all this. You see this? You see this? I hope me beg the people them say just don't send me nothing unless it's something you want me to talk about, or you know, it's on and on and on and on. But anyways, I'm not finding it. But you get the gist of what was said in the message. Let me say, man, the first thing that came to my mind was this, right? Because I'm pretty sure that some African Americans are going to be watching this. So let me be super clear and let me be one of the Jamaicans them that tackles this issue, since it's becoming an issue. First of all, no good is going to come of this for any of us. Another piece of division, right? What we do is certain messages on WhatsApp so it can be easy to find, bro. What we do is star certain message. Well, not too late now, because I never star it. But okay, I get you. For my African Americans out there, this right here, and a lot of you taking this negative stance towards it, like you're using this to judge a whole nation of people. How come after all that white people have done to you, y'all still love and care for them so much? You pray for them, you forgive them, you make excuses for them, you date them, you lay down with them, you marry them, you build families with them, you support their businesses, spend all your money at their businesses. But as soon as you see one or a few of anybody that is black who is just not black American born or black USA born, you leave all these disparaging comments, and then you hold it against a whole nation of people. A whole nation of people gets your hate and your condemnation for what one or two said. You got to think about that. And I'll start off with this because it's very important for you to understand what I just said to you, right? After all you and these white people been through, history documented in the United States of America, You still say you love them. You still make excuses for them. You still say, not my friends, not my white friends, maybe those over there. You still separate them and you still find good among them. Where is your forgiveness, or where is your wanting to unify those who look like you? You could use the same method and say, I'm pretty sure not all Jamaicans are like that. Because I know some Jamaican and they're definitely not like that. And they don't believe that. How come you don't give us that grace? Not just Jamaican, but Caribbean people. How come you don't give us that grace? How come it's just one big X? Just one big X. I feel like there is something that's and I've said this before. There's something that's bubbling underneath already. So you know, like when somebody really don't like you already, they already think bad things about you. They don't have any reason to. They just don't. For whatever reason it is they have in their minds, right? But don't like that boy there. I just can't stand his ass. I don't like him. And as soon as somebody says something bad about you, because they already harbored those kind of feelings, then ups come this. See, I told you. That's why I said I knew I didn't like his ass from beginning. You know what I mean? I feel like that's what's going on. You know? Let me tell this lady something that sent me this and called me a hypocrite for not speaking about this. For one, I didn't see it. I simply did not see it. I'm one person, I can't see everything. And I have a life outside of social media, right? So I didn't see it. I got 6 kids. I don't have time to see every single thing. And I do try to see every single thing, but some things slip me. Okay? Thank you for bringing it to my attention, though. And now that I have seen it, I'm brave enough to address it, to speak about it. Why did it make you so angry to the point where you have nothing good to say about a whole nation of people? Let me tell you something, right? A lot of you can either relate to this because you lived it, or you've heard us tell these stories before, right? I came to the United States of America as a child. Nobody hated us more or showed us more hate than African Americans. And I know it's hard to believe now because now it's 2025, right? I'm a grown ass man though. So we going way back. But in hindsight, it was like it was yesterday. So I don't hold that against you. I just chalk it up to a time in a period in time, what was going on then, and an experience that we endured. You know what I mean? I don't look at every African American and be like, yeah, I know they don't like us, but we went through some shit. And the funny thing is, right? So because we were coming from the Caribbean where we didn't really understand like racism, because we're such a melting pot in the Caribbean, it was a shock to us when we came to the US, right? And then studying and learning of what happened here, and then seeing for ourselves how divided it was here, especially white versus black kind of thing. But to also see, it put us in a confusing place, because to also see white people be more friendly to us than African Americans who look just like us, that was also confusing. You understand? So you got to understand all these dynamics to what was happening. Now, again, I never held it against any of you. I've never said with a big broad blanket like you did, that's all y'all want to do is come here and fill your pockets with money. And what they call us all kinds of names now. They have a new name for us, a tether or something. I went to go look it up. I forgot what it means. I think it means like somebody who is building off of somebody else's glory, or somebody who is riding on somebody's coattail, and so whatever the hell tether means. That's what they're calling us now, right? And they're organizing themselves as FBAs, Foundational Black Americans, and all this other stuff. If they strip me and you down and they tell us walk down the street, and other people who are non-black see both of us walking down the street, they would not be able to tell that I was a Jamaican and you were a African American. So y'all got to stop with this bullshit. Y'all really got to stop. And I'm sorry, but I have to use some words that the holier than thou art people don't really like to hear me use. But y'all got to stop with this bullshit. It doesn't work for any of us. None of us. It's kind of like, how should I put this? Stop hating your own. And stop looking for reasons to continue to hate your own. And stop looking for reasons to continue to divide your own. That Jamaican woman does not represent the entire Jamaican population, right? I'm not looking at African Americans and going, oh, they're ghetto dwellers and they, a lot of them are on food stamps and housing vouchers and they're lazy and they were born here with opportunities at their feet and fingertips since they were born, especially the newer generation ones. And a lot of them have squandered their opportunities to be somebody. A lot of them end up in jail, prisons, doing stupid shit, throwing their lives away. And then they watch immigrants come from poor countries and rise above them, and they hate that shit. You don't hear me beating that down or saying that all the time, right? You know why I don't? Because I also know a lot of African Americans who used every opportunity and they have made something of themselves. There are a lot of successful African American brothers and sisters out here as well. At the end of the day, I always preach this right here. The slave ships dropped y'all off over there, one on that piece of landmass. And then it traveled that way and dropped us off here. And then it traveled that way and dropped some more off there. But if you collected everybody and put them back, just rewind everything, it'll be everybody back on the same damn ships. In other words, then we're the same people. We're the same people. So there's a difference between culture versus race, right? Culture is like what you know growing up, the kind of music you listen to, the kind of foods you eat, how you speak, your lingo, that's culture. Race is exactly what the hell we are, right? By DNA. So y'all need to stop feeding into this narrative that, oh, Caribbean people are so against us and we have to fight them and call them names. They're now thetters. And if you're not African American by birth, you're a nobody and we know you hate us. I suggest that you start opening your mind and actually going out and seeking to understand Caribbean culture. It will help you out and you will find out that you're not hated. You're actually loved, right? And on the other hand, I'm not going to use that one message, that one letter that she wrote to judge a whole set of people. But like I said, I've had my personal experiences too, right? Even violence. I got punched in the back of my head and had to run. And thank y'all for teaching me to fight. Because when I came to the United States of America, you know, in Jamaica when we were growing up, right? You draw a piece of cane or you draw a piece of stick and that's how you fight. Or you travel with a knife or an ice pick or something like that. Or you fling big stone. Or when I came to the U.S., I had to learn how to fight with a fist. That wasn't something that we did when I was growing up in Jamaica. We watched a lot of karate movies and we used to go, yeah, yeah, and play karate like what we see in the movies. And when it came time for us to fight, we actually threw a lot of them kicks as if we were doing, but we really didn't know. I came to the U.S. and watched people fight. And I was like, damn, they good with their hands. And it wasn't until I got punched in the back of my head because some guy, Lonnie was his name. He ran track and field, but he was a senior guy at North Miami. He was in North Miami High School, and I was at North Miami Middle School. And his girlfriend liked me, right? And I was like this young Jamaican kid that had a strong accent and dressed funny. And he came over there, lay-weighted me, punched me in the back of my head. My little friend, I had a white friend named Jason that had big old braces. Jason was trying to warn me that, look, they're going to jump you. They're right there. I didn't even know what the hell jump was. I'm walking. Next thing I know, he punched me in the back of my head. Jason takes off in another direction, running. I ran because I'm scared. I ain't never been hit like that before. So y'all taught us a lot of lessons. What in the world is going on? Y'all taught me a lot of lessons, and thank you for them. But I will not hold it against you, right? Karen Notice says, I got jumped in junior high because of being Jamaican. And we lived in a house, but we still, what? I don't know what that was. I've never seen that before on the screen. Reggae Girl says she is not the pictual Jamaica. She only comes here to make up numbers. Karen Notice says, I got jumped in high school because of being Jamaican, and we lived in a house, and we still love Americans. Right there, side Karen Notice. The computer is doing some funny stuff. Like up the live, peeps, says Great Goodies. What was that? Let's One TV, I don't know. Just remember, sir, if the live drop, I'm going to start over immediately. We have the ether cable in the computer that we're broadcasting from, so it's doing something new, but it shouldn't be kicking us off, all right? American pick cotton, West Indians cut canes, bananas, and other fruits. Most Jamaicans were shipped there because they were rebellious. That's true. Georgette Seeley says they don't care what black you are. All they see is black, and we need to do the same when it comes to our sisters and brothers. Yes. So let's end that conversation like this, because I honestly feel like that conversation ain't going nowhere. Because like I said, there's nothing in it for us but division, right? Nothing in it but division. So what we need to do is we need to learn to unite based on the one thing that we all have in common. And that's the fact that we share the same DNA. That's it. And that should be enough for us to try to unite with each other. We also have to understand that among us on both sides, there are going to be people who don't like the other side for whatever reason it is. I'm sure if you go into a black community or African-American, predominantly African-American community, you're going to see or hear, I don't fuck with them Jamaicans. I don't mess with Caribbean people. Yeah, and they'll tell you 10,000 reasons why they don't like you. Yeah, they be coming here and acting like they own the neighborhood. Them motherfuckers be taking up all the jobs. You know what I'm saying? They always act like they better than us for whatever reason it is. And if you go into the Jamaican community or Caribbean community, you're going to hear the same thing from somebody over there. My message is, do not let that become how you judge an entire set of people, right? At the end of the day, it's still your people, whether you want to know it or believe it or not. It's still your people, right? Kaitaja Empress says it's a time-old conversation and nothing new comes about it. Absolutely. We're not getting anywhere with it. So here's what we're going to do. The African Americans that want to work with us, we work with them. The ones that show us love, we show them love. And we'll keep it moving just like that, right? With the understanding that we are the same people. That's it. You know how the other day when we did a video where we were like, why they treat Haitians like that? Like, why? I'm talking about Caribbeans now. Why do other Caribbean islands treat the Haitians like that? In particular, Jamaicans. Because, you know, a lot of Haitians were trying to escape what was going on in Haiti. Jamaica is only 90 miles off the coast of Haiti. And they would like get on boats and try to come over to Jamaica. And Jamaican government would send the Haitians back with no due process. Like, they would land this morning and they were back in Haiti by tonight. They would land tonight. They were back in Haiti by morning light for breakfast, right? Landed in Jamaica for dinner, back in Haiti for breakfast by morning light. Like, get them out of here. So I was trying to foster unity. I think we have to do the same thing with our African-American brothers and sisters. And I think I'm going to purposely do that this weekend. What I did for the Haitians then was I videoed everything. I found a Haitian restaurant in my area. I ate some Haitian food because food unites everybody. I ate some Haitian food. I was looking for the differences and the similarities between theirs and ours and etc. And what I learned was Haitians have some damn good food. And they have a lot of stuff that's similar to the stuff that we have in Jamaica, right? I think the video Jamaican family eats Haitian food for the first time. I think that SouFLoTV, I think that video is probably well over 100 and something K, with a lot of Haitian people in the comment section saying, oh my God, thank you so much for this. I'm glad you use your platform to steer the narrative into a positive direction instead of trying to build on the negative stuff that's been permeating throughout social media, causing so much division among us when we're actually one people. These kind of things, right? So shout out to the Haitians for that. I think I'm purposely going to Foxy G TV says, I'm glad they know Haiti food is the best, the real thing. So I think this weekend I'm going to do, my video is still there on YouTube. You can go look it up. We don't make anything up. We live it and do it. So this weekend, I think I'm going to go look for specifically African-American restaurant. And I'm going to get some food from them and dive into the food and then have a conversation around that, the similarities and our differences, etc., etc. It's a way how you start to learn about other people, because most of us actually, all we know is that slavery happened and they come from slaves, right? Especially Caribbean people. A lot of Caribbean people, our history is kind of different in the Caribbean, right? There's a part where there's a twist to it. Even though if you go way, way further back to the original history, before we came into slavery, then you will see that we all share the same history. So I'm talking about history as in their life in these colonies, in this United States of America, and what they built here, and start having and showing a great appreciation for it, right? For their struggles and their triumph in this land of the United States of America. I'm purposely going to go look for and try and video and have a conversation with over this weekend. I don't want no division among us, man. We get fought all the way left, right, center from everybody else. We don't need to do that to ourselves. We don't have no friends. In case y'all don't know, in case y'all are blind or haven't been paying attention, we don't have no friends. We don't have no friends. So the few people who you see who don't look like us, let the shit hit the fan and see how long that friendship actually really lasts. We don't have no friends. We have people who are along for the ride to a certain degree, and shout out to them, but we don't have no genuine friends. So we better start being genuine friends to each other. That, and I'm going to leave it right there at that one. Live on the air with SouFLo. Good morning.
Good morning, my brother. How are you?
Good morning, family. How you doing?
We're good.
Oh, talk to me now.
Listen, this thing started with the Willie Winch letter.
Yes, yes.
Okay?
Yes, and I hate to see it because it's actually the exact words that are in there is what we're seeing before us.
That's how they broke it down.
Yes.
For the division.
Yes.
Because they could not have controlled us all.
Boy, that was properly orchestrated though, and it is happening just as planned.
Yes.
Yes.
So a lot of us need to get out the thing. I would ask the audience, please go and read that letter.
The Willie Lynch theory.
Yes.
Yes.
And that's the letter that was thought to help us.
Yes. Once you understand it, once you understand it and you understand that it was on purpose that certain things were put into place. Once you understand that you are actually caught in it.
Yes.
Yes, then you can begin to start to make some changes. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. I agree.
And another thing. Jamaica and Haiti has a strong bond. But people don't understand. Okay? Who started the revolution in Haiti?
Bookman.
Right.
Yeah.
He sacrificed.
He sacrificed. His head was cut off.
Right.
Put in the square of him. Because he fought for his people. It wasn't a Jamaican thing and a Haitian thing.
Right.
It was one people.
It was let's get our people free thing.
Yes.
Thank you.
So there's no Jamaican food and Haitian food and American food.
Well, there is. I gotta stop you there. There is.
No. I understand the logic.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong.
There is. Because I heard about the mac and cheese and the ox and a ham ox and the chitlins and the this and the that.
I cook all that.
Right, and their preparation is completely different from ours, which makes it their food and which makes our food our food. So nobody said there is no Haitian food and is no Jamaican food.
No. Listen to the logic. What I'm saying. Our ancestors came from Africa. We were dropped off different places. The food that they were preparing in Africa at the time, they had all their, ingredients, whatever it is. We had to make do with whatever was picked up on the island.
Right.
So we are going to cook the same food a different way.
But yes, that's true.
Call it a different name.
That's true, but that's still uniquely a part of the culture.
Right. But it makes us one. I hate, you see, what I'm trying to tell you, the division is where we have to start with this. Just like in the Willie Lynch letter. The tall, the short, the light, the dark. The food can't be all that. We have to break this food thing down too. We can't keep saying Haitian food
and
Jamaican food. We have to stop this. If we don't cut out all this Trinidadian, Grenadian, Vincentian, Guyanese, how are we going to come together? How?
That could be a beauty, though. Listen, okay, so I think that right there is going a bit too far. Like, for instance, I agree with everything you said, except for this right here. So in the Willie Lynch letter, because I've read it back to back. The Willie Lynch letter says, we will set this wheel in motion, right? And when we divide them in every way possible, we will divide them by the shades of their skin, the texture of their hair and their eyes. We will divide them by the short from the tall, the dark from the light, the this from the other. And then we will teach them how to pass it on to their children and their children's children. And after a while, we won't have to do anything. They will continue to pass this dysfunction down for generations to come. We will just sit and watch this thing in motion. Okay. That is like skin color, hair texture, all that. I think our food could be a beautiful thing just for the simple fact that what happened in Haiti made the Haitians who they are there. What happened in Jamaica made the Jamaicans who they are. What happened in Grenada made the Grenadians who they are. And if we should all say, come together and say, let me taste how Haitians cook oxtail. And my Haitian brother said, and I want to taste your Jamaican oxtail. I don't see anything bad with that.
No, it's beautiful. But remember what Willie Lynch said too. In every
But the
way.
food, we're using it as a unifier, not as a divider, though. Not as a divider. They use everything else as a divider. Huh?
Oh, me not eat Asian food because it's nasty.
Yeah, well, that's where you use it to change that narrative. Did I not tell you the story about my African American brother in the army when we were stationed in Germany, and I went to the Jamaican get together, and all the Jamaican food was there and stuff, right? So as much as he was like, "Oh my God, y'all eat goat? Damn, how could y'all eat that stuff?" And I was able to convince him to just listen. Don't ask me what I'm giving you. Just take what the little samples I give. And I ended up giving him some of pretty much everything. And he fell in love with exactly what he had a preconceived notion of. Oh my God, how could they eat this? So it could be a unifier as well. It could be a conversation piece. It could be, we could definitely unite over some food.
Okay, I'm just going to say one thing, and then I'm going to get off the other thing. If you go to Ghana, the same thing that Jamaican cook, and something that Haitian cook, put it together, the entire Caribbean cook, it cook it in Ghana.
Okay.
It's only because of a different name.
All right.
Rice and beans is wache. They cook the goat skin. They burn it, the goat head. They make the soup pipi. Every single thing that Jamaicans cook, Ghanaians cook. Just a different name.
All right.
Thank you.
Manners.
Respect.
All right. And I bet you say in Ghana, they will still argue Ghanaian rice, Ghanaian jollof versus Nigerian jollof versus and who cook the best jollof. You see, the food thing, we don't have to divide like that much or think of it like that way. We could put our positive spin to it. You know what I mean? We are already divided by it. Live on the air with SouFLo. Good morning.
Morning, SouFLo.
Good morning, family. How you doing?
Yeah, you're there.
You're there. Welcome. Talk to me.
Well, I just wanted to add that.
You have us on a speaker or Bluetooth or something?
I was in the bathroom.
Okay.
But can you hear me better now?
Yes, still with a lot of echo, but we can hear you.
Hold on. How about now?
All right, sound better.
All right. So I wanted to let my African Americans and my just Black people around the world, period, that yes, we're all Africans. But for our African Americans, we have to realize when it comes to Caribbean people, you're dealing not just that we're African, but you might be dealing with your own family member.
Yes. Yes.
You know, just to open your eyes a little, you might be dealing with your own family member. I mean, direct lineage.
Yes.
Because they took as punishment, you know, they separated us.
Yep. Your daddy too unruly, so I'm sending him to Jamaica.
Here in America, were distributed throughout the year.
Yes.
i.e. Jamaica.
Yes.
Especially Jamaica, because we know where the buck breaking farm was.
Yep.
So stop it.
Yep.
Probably, you know, instead of sitting in hate, because that's all this is, it's envy, jealousy, and hate. A part of the deadly sin. So we can't just blame this on the slave master. We can blame this on the Bible too. But then again, who introduced the Bible to you? But that's it. I ain't gonna go too deep because, like I said, it's a time-old conversation that ain't nothing new coming about it. But maybe if you realize you're dealing with your own family, you're talking about your own family.
Yes. Yeah.
We were just separated, not just through Africa, but once we got here, we created our own extension of family, and then they separated us again.
Say it all the time.
Like, wake up.
Yeah.
When are we going to win this war? When are we going to take back what is ours?
Man.
White people have not had leadership over Europe as long as the Moors did. 700 years. Think about it. They haven't had, that's why they don't want to let it go, because they haven't had the ownership as long as we did. And how did we get there? By unity.
Yeah.
So continue your division, because as Caribbean people, one thing we know is community. We still know community.
True.
We still know it. And like I said a few weeks ago, Black people taught white people how to have community. They are savage. We taught them how to be communal.
the words of the people who are calling in are not necessarily those of the.
That's fine. That's fine.
The host of the show.
Because
people
if we're the originals, they cannot find a white DNA as old as ours. And if we're the original, who humanized them? You go ahead and talk about the words of whatever. It don't matter. No. And with knowledge comes clarity, and then you'll know your power.
Sure.
Unite. Stop dividing yourself. Unite. That's what these people are afraid of. Let's not even give them a color, because white ain't a color.
I would even go further than this, right? I don't even speak about white or anybody else to that extent, right? I just speak to us. I don't care what they feel as far as what they scared of and what they this and what they that. I just speak to us.
Are scared of something. But one thing for sure they're not as scared of is their own color. And that's crazy.
Yeah, but check it. I want you to open your mind for a second, right? I want you to see how what you just said, since we're here, let's get into it. I want you to see how what you just said could be twisted into something completely different. And next thing you know, this platform is labeled as an anti-XYZ, and then this platform is no longer on the air.
Totally get it.
You get it? So when I address my people, I speak to us about us. Like I started out saying, though, to my African Americans, how come they did all those things to you and you forgive them, you love them, you still live amongst them, you marry them, you have children with them, you support their businesses, all this other stuff. But as soon as one of us who are considered an outsider says something, you hold it against us for life, and you use it to judge a whole nation of us. Yeah, we got to be smart in how we navigate this landscape right here, because they're making it more complicated. And you can easily find out that you were holding the blade and they were holding the handle all along. Read between the lines. Right?
I'll be more incognito.
Yeah, that way.
I'll be more incognito, but you know, the passion.
Yeah, that passion could cause you that passion could cause you to wake up and see there's no more SouFLo tomorrow.
It often overflows because we're not the enemies, people. We're not each other's enemies.
Right.
Find the right one.
So speak to us.
Right. We need to unite. At the end of the day, that's the message. We're brothers and sisters, and not just by skin color. Actual DNA, people.
Right. Absolutely.
All right. Thank you.
All right, my friend. Yeah. In times like these, man, you got to be skillful how you navigate this, because certain things that you say could be deemed as anti this group or anti that group. And once they label you that, you know, then comes the problems with it. There's a very prominent individual whose platform was recently removed, but it wasn't along these lines, but still it was because they saw him as, you know what I mean? So be careful what you say. I think we can talk to us about us without even mentioning them or those or others. Notice how I say stuff like we have no friends. We have no friends, right? So we better start being friends with ourselves. I don't need to go labeling any specific or particular group and say they're not our friends and they're not our friends. Well, they're kind of like our friends still, but sometimes, no, just say we have no friends. Or just say, listen, we are the only ones that we can truly depend on, and our true strength is in our unity. And until we harness that, we will never be powerful. So with that, take that to the bank and do with it what you wish, right? Facts don't lie, people do, says united we stand and divided we fall. I love what Africa is doing. Bob say, how long shall they control our prophets or kill our prophets while we stand aside and look? Love what Africa is doing. Cool. I do too. Yeah, but yeah, man, but our own people cannot show the same love, says Missy Brown Brown. And that's how we are even in our personal lives. Even in our personal, I've seen it all the time. you know, we will go to, and when I say to us, make sure you support your kind in business. That's just logical. Other communities do the same thing. That's understanding commerce and understanding how to pool your resources and how to keep money circulating in your community uh, longer, kind of thing, right? When we say that, we hear, yeah, but the way they treat you over there, they be talking to you like you obligated to come. So I just go over to the other people. Well, the other people talk to you the same way. And I see the other people talk to you the same way. And they follow you around the store and they say code blue on aisle 7, and you over on aisle 7 wondering what the hell code blue is. It's a shoplifter, a potential shoplifter on aisle 7. Code yellow on aisle 6, you the only one on damn aisle 6. Why they calling code yellow on aisle 6? But you still go back, right? You still go back, you still show up, you still spend your money there. Like, we got to give each other grace, man. That's it. We got to give each other some grace. And we have to learn to deal with our own kind with love. The great Tupac Shakur said, we got to start changing the way we see each other. That's where it starts. Changing the way we see each other, changing the way we love each other. And he said, nobody could run us off this planet. The only people that could do that is us. We have to choose to walk off this planet. Those were his words, and they are true. So all I'm dealing with is unity, no division, especially among our own, and that's that. All right. Moving right along. And they still have to give them enough chances, says Duo the Unicorn. Oh, Duo the Unicorn, you got here a bit late and you wanted to know what started this conversation. It was a Jamaican woman that was getting arrested in the United States of America, and she told the American white police officer after he handcuffed her, she said, why don't you go kill some African Americans? And then it offended our African American brothers and sisters, but some of them are taking it to use it against the Caribbean community, particularly Jamaicans. Oh, we didn't know Jamaicans felt like this about us. And others are like, see, that's what I'm telling you. They don't like us. All of them think like this. So we felt the need to like have a conversation surrounding that, right? All right. And stop using one. You are no different from the others. Stop using one to judge everybody. It's just, everybody have their bad people and their good people. Everybody have their confused people and their people who know what's going on. You know what I mean? Everybody have their destructive people and their builders. Everybody have their kind-hearted people and their wicked ones. Everybody have their, so stop it. Stop using one to judge a whole nation of people. And if you're doing that, it's probably because you just straight out don't like those people, period. But don't try to flip it around like they're the ones that don't like you. Because there's nothing anybody could do to make me judge a whole set of people based off just their actions. Now, if I see a whole bunch of them doing the same thing, that's a whole nother story, but we'll leave that at that. BM says it's the freaking weekend, baby. BM, bless up and thank you for being here. All right, but we're leaving that topic and we're heading into something else. Now, do y'all want to go into the Noel Maitland case, or do you want to go into the Cassie case? I think it should be Cassie, because when we asked, Cassie and the African American or Black American were tied, and we needed one tiebreaker. So I think we should proceed with the Cassie stuff next, right? Right. But still, given a climate, that makeup look bad, SouFlo. That was on video. Yeah, man, it was on video, but we already beat that to death about why we're not going to dwell on that and all that. What I will tell you to do this weekend is find you an African-American restaurant or food spot. It could be a hole-in-the-wall food spot. Sometimes those are the best ones, right? Dig into some of their food, their way, and you'll probably even be able to soak up some of their culture once you get in there. The thing about food spots is this. If you walk into a Jamaican restaurant, more than likely, you're probably going to hear some reggae music playing. You're probably going to see some pictures on the wall that represent the culture. You're probably if you walk in a Caribbean restaurant, you're probably going to see all the Caribbean flags in there. You know, you hear, you get a feel for the culture. And then when you eat the food, you get a taste for the culture. I would even say go as far as to have a conversation with somebody in there. But if you don't want to go that far, just grab a plate of food. All right? That way we're actually supporting each other. And then we'll have a conversation around that. Right. Cassie is next. And that's what we're getting into next. So, without further ado, we all know that Cassie is Sean P. Diddy Combs' longtime girlfriend, and she took the stand to testify against Diddy. I'm going to read through Cassie's testimony. None of us were in court, so we've been having to catch bits and pieces from this media house gave us 2 sentences, then that media house gave us another 2 sentences. Well, I have the whole thing compiled right here. We're going to read through Cassie's testimony, and you're going to make up your mind. Now, y'all already know how I feel. I don't think it changed, but we'll get into all that in a minute, right? All right. So, Cassie Ventura says that she was, or she's trying to paint the picture that she was coerced into depraved sex acts with male prostitutes. She was savagely beaten, and she was blackmailed by Sean P. Diddy Combs. This is what a court heard during days of devastating testimony against Sean P. Diddy Combs from his ex-girlfriend, Cassie. Diddy is 55 years old now, and he's on trial in New York City, charged with sex trafficking and racketeering, which Diddy has pleaded innocent to. He said he was not a sex trafficker. He was not into racketeering. That's not what's going on with his life. Cassie Ventura delivered a bombshell testimony about how she was coerced into participating in these drug-fueled sex sessions that could last, she said the longest one lasted 4 days. She laid out the details. She said she was humiliated a lot of the times. She claimed that she was given and then she willingly took a lot of booze, a lot of drugs, just so she could perform these orgies days long, just so she could black out and not be there, just so she could deal with it, having to go through all that. 10 years, actually more like 11 years of a relationship almost with Sean Diddy Combs she was in. She's listed today as only 28 years old still. Now, the alleged exploitations, she said, left her broken and left her feeling inadequate and left her feeling like she was not a good person and she was not worth anything. Right? Of course, today as we speak now, the part that I said I'm waiting for is actually happening. So we won't be able to discuss that unless we go live this weekend, and that is the cross-examination by the defense attorneys. They're about to apply that pressure. So day one, the first day of Cassie's testimony, got off to some explosive start. And she described the freak-offs in graphic details, including one instance where a male escort urinated in her mouth. We already said that one of the hosts from Breakfast Club, she was in the courtroom, and her account when she came out of the courtroom was that she's surprised that so many people outside are saying that Diddy forced that to happen. Well, what she got in the courtroom was that Cassie was the one that asked, because that male prostitute actually testified. Cassie was the one that asked him to do that act, not Diddy. Diddy was there, but it wasn't him that asked her to do it. It was she that asked the male escort to do it. Now, you got to remember, Cassie said she did things that she thought Diddy liked because she was in love with him and she wanted to make him happy. She said, within the first year of our relationship, Sean had proposed to me this idea of this sexual encounter that he called voyeurism, where he would watch me as I do activities with a third party, particularly another man. It entails the hiring of an escort and setting up this experience so that I can perform for Sean. It involves Sean being able to watch me with the other person and actually direct us on what we were doing sexually. She then went on to say he wanted to have a male escort urinate on me during one of the freak-offs. Sometimes he himself, Diddy, or he would have a escort urinate on me and there was no conversation. It was a turn on to him, so it just happened. When asked if she wanted this, she said no. She said it was humiliating, and it was humiliating that anyone was there to see it. It was disgusting. It was too much. It was overwhelming. In an addition to the procedure, she said that she was choked. In addition to the procedure of getting peed on, she said she was choked. And I was laid on the floor in a position that I couldn't easily move out of. That's what she said. Then they asked her if she was, or were you able to ask the escort to stop? And she said, I put my hands up, and then Sean told him to stop. So that was her way. When the act was happening, if she wanted to tap out, didn't want to do anymore, just put your hands up, say something. And she said she put her hands up, and Diddy told him to stop. The only thing I could do then was just lay on the floor. I had too much urine in my mouth, so I couldn't say stop. So I just put my hand up. The prosecutor then said, did you want Sean to urinate on you as well? She replied and said, I didn't want anybody to urinate on me. I was squeamish immediately. And I was high. And I was in the moment with this man. So that's what happened. I was squeamish immediately. And I was high. And I was in the moment with this man. So that's what happened. Y'all, please don't think I don't know how to read. The way how it's translated is exactly how I'm reading it. So it's translated with all her stutters, all her, and then she changes and says something else. This is exactly how I'm trying to read it back to you, right? Throughout her testimony, she said that she did not actively want to participate in the freak-offs, and that the first time was no different. I remember my stomach falling to my butt. The nervousness and the confusion on that moment. I had just turned 22. I didn't have a concept of how that would be a turn on. But I also felt a sense of responsibility with him sharing something like this with me. I was confused. I was nervous, but also I loved him very much and I wanted to make him happy. There goes the prosecution's case of forced. I loved him very much and I wanted to make him happy. That's why I did it. Ventura then described typical patterns of freak-offs. She said that it would begin with oil and touching, and then it would progress through oral, and then it would go into full intercourse. First sex act was self-pleasure. I will use that word. They use the M word. Master runs the place. Baits are over there, in there. But I'll use the word self-pleasure. So she said the first sex act would be self-pleasure with us looking at each other. She's talking about the escort. And I would be looking at the escort and they would be looking at me. And they would be self-pleasuring and I would be self-pleasuring. And I would describe what I saw in details. That is what turned Sean on. That is his fantasy. It was always awkward for me sitting there describing someone's penis to another male. Pretty awkward. And it was humiliating, but eventually it just became normal. It would lead to intercourse. She then said that sometimes both the escort and Diddy would have with her, and other times he would just watch and let the escort do his thing. Sometimes he would jump in, sometimes he wouldn't. She said, if I was having it with the escort, he would just walk up and just have me give him oral while the escort's doing from the other end. Asking if this is very graphic, asking if the escort ejaculated. She said yes, usually only when it was okay for them to go, according to Sean. So the escort couldn't even pop off unless Sean said, you done, you could do what you want to do now. Bust now. You could bust. But if they did, then Sean and I would go into the next room. Like if they couldn't last and they did explode, for lack of a better word, Sean and I would then go into the next room and then he would want me to rub that fluid on his body, usually on his chest and nipples. Hey man, let me stop right here and say something. let me stop right here and say something. Let me check on my comment section because I can't see y'all. All right. Let me stop right here and say something. Come princess. My princess just entered the chat. Hi, mommy. Yeah. What happened? Why are you walking like that? You okay? I love you. You going to school?
Yeah.
Say hi, everybody.
Hi.
What happened? You got bit yesterday?
Yes.
Yes. She got bite up. They were outside till like 9 o'clock last night almost. Just playing in the backyard, looking for lizards and stuff like that. She and our brother. Jump up on daddy. Let's show off your beautiful outfit today, girly. Very girly. Are you gorgeous?
Yeah.
Are you beautiful?
Yes.
Yes. Ah. What's this, a skirt?
Uh-huh.
Oh, it's a shorts.
Yeah.
It's a shorts that look like a skirt. It looks like a skirt, but it's a shorts. I like it. I like it. See? It flaps away into a shorts, but it looks like a skirt.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I like your top. And what shoes we rocking today? Show them the shoes. And we doing the suede toe Adidas today and some frilly girly socks.
And it's hot outside today.
It's hot outside today. It was hot outside yesterday.
It was hot outside today again.
Yes. That means you could go swimming.
Yeah!
All right.
And there was a bug in the pool.
There was a bug in the pool?
Yeah. It was like this big.
Is that what bit you on your forehead? No.
It was actually a bug that was in the pool that was on our window.
Were you scared of it though?
And I saw the bug that was on the floor in the cup.
Were you scared of the bug though?
No.
You were?
It was dead because it didn't eat any food.
Oh, it was dead because it didn't eat any food. It's probably dead because of the chlorine in the pool.
My hair is dirty, so my mom's gonna wash my hair.
Your mom's gonna wash your hair?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Give me some love up.
Thank you.
I love you. Have a good day, okay? You got to see your brothers and sister today.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, when you come from school, you come pick you up?
With chips.
With chips? With blue chips? Okay.
No.
All right. I love you.
Love you.
You're going to have a good day. Tell the people have a good day.
Have a good day.
It's right here.
Have a good day.
All right. I'll get the princess.
Yeah.
Mommy, what are you picking up? All right. Mr. Brown, big up yourself. All right, let's get back into this. Let her get out of here because the details. I'm waiting for that. I'm waiting to hear the alarm on the door. The exit alarm on the door. Yeah. So the princess is off. She get bite up on her forehead, man. Last time we went to Jamaica, boy, the mosquito them deal with our bad, you know. Mosquito them deal with our bad. Tan-ta-da-na. All right. So while they are waiting to go out, I'm not hearing the door. They're still in the house. The details are. Let me say this. I can say this. I saw somebody in the comment section said she was 22, so she was young and she was coerced. Let me level this for you, right? Because some people run away from accountability like a duppy chase them. They run away from accountability like it's a rolling calf or a mad bull or run them down. They, for no reason, they will take accountability. Let me break something down for you, right? At 18 years old, we join our military. We strap up and go off to war to fight for your country. At 18 years old, you're taught to be intelligent enough to vote in all elections, locally and primary elections, to elect the President of the United States of America. At 18 years old, you could go into any store and order and buy any tobacco product. At 18 years old, you can make decisions and sign documents, no parental guidance needed. At 18 years old, you commit a crime, you are tried as an adult, and you are sent to an adult prison. So me no want to hear nothing about no too young. And y'all can't have it both way either. When you say, right, she's too young, why is she with that man that's way older than her? You will hear the same people tell you, mind your business. She's an adult, he's an adult. she's of legal age, right? Okay, leave people alone. That's their business. So now that she did things that she didn't like in a 10-year, 11 years relationship, a lot of you in here haven't even been with your partner 11 damn years or 10 years. In a 10-year, 11-year relationship, all of a sudden she was young and he coerced her. Come on, man. She was very much on fucking track to what she wanted to do. Me did at 18 one time, 19, 21, 2 and 3, and no man couldn't piss in my mouth or gal, and nobody couldn't bend me in any which direction I didn't want to go if something never invited to me and if I didn't want to do it. So let's stop with this. Oh, she was so young and impressionable and he just manipulated her and made her do. He was a wealthy man. He had all the keys to all the locks, to all the doors she was trying to get behind. And she knew that this came with it, right? So she was willing to do all of that came with it in order to be a singer that was successful, that had movie roles, that had a song on Billboard, top of the charts, that was the girl on his arm at some point, that was in the lavish lifestyle. Don't bother come with that. She was young and impressionable stuff. Live on the air with SouFlo. Good morning.
Good morning, SouFlo. Respect and manners, yeah?
Manners and respect, family. What going?
SouFlo, what you just said, yeah? Never tell you straight up. I went to foreign when I was 17 years old. I was on my own. No mother, no father. You understand? Stranger bring me. Who let me do that at 17 years old? I was my own man.
And
you understand?
And you fended for yourself and survived, right?
And I fended for myself on my own at 17 years old and still survived.
No, that is kind of beside, because in America they would say you're not 18, so you are a minor that was left on his own. But I'm going by the law for a reason, and the reason is the law says at 18 you are an adult.
That is real, and I wasn't an adult, so she is an adult. That's the whole prospect of it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Respect, yeah. Manners and respect.
All right, fam. Manners. All right, so we're gonna get into the other details of what went down, right? The door went off. That means baby girl is gone, so I don't have to worry about what I'm saying now. So now I could get a little bit louder. All right. If the escorts ejaculated without the computer do a thing, we're using the ether wire straight from the modem. So I'm guessing this is where the modem would have usually click out and the thing would have usually stop. Let's hope it doesn't. She said if the escorts ejaculated without being given permission by Diddy, they were paid less money because they did it too quick or not when he wanted it done. He wanted more. During one session, she said he choreographed her getting into a pool of baby oil at a hotel in Beverly Hills in a full outfit that was purchased from a sex shop and heels on. It was one of those inflatable kiddie pools, and it was filled with baby oil. She said that she didn't want to do it, especially in a hotel room. You know, baby oil was going to be everywhere. But that she couldn't say no, because if she did, it would have been all bad at this point. All bad, meaning he wouldn't be happy. He would have been upset. He set up all this stuff. She was ready to go, and then now she isn't. She couldn't back out. Ventura described how the alleged sessions were fueled by a cocktail of booze and drugs. She said they became almost weekly. The freak-offs started out every once in a while, and then they became like a full-time job. They became almost weekly. it became, depending on where we were, weekly for a consistent amount of years. Weekly for a consistent amount of years. Let me read that again. Weekly for a consistent amount of years. The drugs honestly helped. Ecstasy and Molly, MDMA. We started off doing other drugs like cocaine later on. The alleged abuse was not just sexual, it was physical, it was psychological too. These are her words. In certain times, I knew it wasn't even about me. The next thing, I was getting hit in the face. In certain times, I knew it wasn't even about me. If I wasn't smiling at him the way he wanted to, this is during the freak offs. If I wasn't smiling at him the way he wanted to, I just looked a certain way he didn't like. Maybe I was a brat or something. He would let me know. I need to fix my face or watch my mouth. Psychological was every day. Not know what he was going to be when he woke up that day, and that was a lot. Someone constantly telling you who to be. Ventura also began testimony about the now infamous assault that took place by Diddy at the Intercontinental Hotel in Los Angeles in 2016, which was caught on video surveillance footage. She said, "I'm not sure what happened." That's what she said about that video. "I'm not sure what happened. I got hit by Sean and I had a black eye. And at that point, all I could think about was getting out of there safely. I had my premiere and I didn't want to mess it up. I knew I had to get out. I grabbed my stuff and I ran as fast as I could. And I made it to the elevator. I got my sneakers on. The next thing, I was just thrown to the ground. It was really fast. I ran out without my shoes. It was faster running out without my shoes. Sean grabbed me by the back of my neck and threw me to the ground." Day 2 of her testimony. Now, for those of y'all who ever read the indictment, she explained in the indictment that they were coming off of one of the freak-offs, had just happened. And she said that she did that freak-off because she knew she had her premiere coming up. So she had to give him something to get something. So why not just go ahead and get the freak-off out the way so she could go rest up and rejuvenate and get ready for that. So she didn't want to say no to the freak-off that weekend. So when they did it, when we saw them in the hallway, the freak-off was just finished not too long ago, and they were binging like they normally do when freak-offs happen. They were on ecstasy, cocaine, ketamine, and alcohol. And she said, that's why she said in court, I don't even remember what happened. I just know I got hit. They started, in her other paperwork, it said they started arguing. And it was something to do with another woman or another female. And she was jealous. And they started arguing. And next thing she knows, so she wanted to leave because she knows that once the argument starts and they're both high and up like that, then the physical stuff is going to happen. And she had the premiere to go to, and she didn't want to get hit and end up with a black eye and couldn't go to the premiere or be having to cover it up with heavy makeup. So she was trying to book it for the door before anything happened, right? Notice how she said in the first set of paperwork that he fell asleep and she tried to leave. Well, we saw the video that they released. He wasn't sleeping the last time when she said before that he fell asleep completely. And this time she was able to leave. He was actually pacing the hallway when she left in that video. Even the security was there, or a guy that's in a suit, and the two people that clean the hotel were also there when she left. Okay, so day 2, she resumed her testimony about the 2016 attack on her second day on the stand. And there was a vase with flowers in it. She said, and I remember the vase just coming towards me. I didn't get hit though. I remember it hitting the wall. And he was yelling at me and he threw it at me. As the video played, she was seen biting her lip and taking deep breaths while she was sipping water. The court was also shown images of her with a black eye and a busted lip in the aftermath of that incident. She told the courts that her friend Kerry Morgan called the cops that day after seeing the state that she was in, but this prompted a flurry of angry text messages from Diddy. I have a premiere for the biggest thing I've ever done in my life on Monday. This is a message from her to him. I have a premiere for the biggest thing I've ever done in my life on Monday. You are sick for thinking that it's okay to do what you've done. Please stay far from me, is what her message said. Diddy then replied with his text message stating, I'm about to be arrested. Answer your phone. Then the next text message from Diddy followed that one, said, if you don't pick up, you'll never hear my voice again. Damn, I would never ignore your calls. Mind you, this is when he's finding out that he's about to be arrested, right? Because her friend called the police. But when the police arrived, she testified that I was too afraid to talk to them. I answered a couple of questions, but when they wanted me to say who I was talking about, I wouldn't tell them, so they left. In that moment, I didn't want to hurt him that way. Just too much going on. It was a lot for me in that moment, and I wasn't ready. Earlier in the testimony, she described how she stopped fighting back during the alleged assault. As you could see, she was like just laying there. If you go back and watch the video, you'll see she just laid there. She said that was her mechanism, her way of, she said, quote unquote, I learned that it would escalate the fight even more and make it even worse for myself if I tried to fight back. Sometimes it would slow him down and he would stop if I just didn't do anything. But other times, it would make him even more violent. It would make him stronger. It would make him push me even harder. She then described another altercation where she was left with a deep gash that required surgical treatment after allegedly being attacked by Diddy after he found her asleep on a sofa. When Sean came in, I was asleep and it was commotion. Him yelling at us, Dante and Maya, my friends, they were there. They jumped on Sean's back because he was trying to attack me, and we ended up in the living room into the master bedroom. They were still jumping on his back when he threw them down, and when he threw me down, I cut my eyebrow on the corner of the bed. It was a Sunday, so nothing was open. Sean had the securities bring me to a plastic surgeon's office to suture it. She claimed that Diddy then forced her to go to the Hamptons, where another freak-off took place with an escort named Dave. At that time, we were taking GBH. She didn't say he forced her. She said that there was another freak-off happening that same weekend in the Hamptons, and that's when she met the escort named Dave. At that time, we were taking GHB, which is a drug. On G, you can go into what's called the G hole. And this time, I blacked out. When I woke up nude in the shower, and Dave, the escort, and Sean Diddy, they were freaking out outside of the bathtub. So it looked like she took the drugs and took too much of it and passed out. They thought she had died. She also testified that a host of other male escorts were used during these freak-offs, and she had from photographs presented in binders. She described how Diddy encouraged her to recruit these men who reached out. The prosecutor asked her, so who was the one that reached out to the escorts? Prosecutor Emily Ann Johnson asked her. Cassie replied, me. Based on who Sean is, I didn't want to put him in that position. I didn't want him reaching out to the escorts based on who he is. So I do it. It was kind of expected of me. She was also questioned further about drug use and about during the freak-offs. Texts were shown to the jury where Diddy appeared to have asked Ventura not to use ketamine, a specific drug known as K, because it would slow the experience down. He said to her, this is his text, you know we have to have a proper FO without no K. A proper FO, freak off, without no K, no ketamine. I need to get it all out of my head. I hate K, ketamine. So you let me know when, is what his message to her said. The last time she did the freak off, she used K and the experience was not good. And he wanted to do another one and he needs to get it out of his head, but he needs her to do it with no K next time. So you let me know when you're ready. The prosecutor asked her, what was Sean saying about K? And she replied, she said that it took time out of the freak off. She went on to say that it was my preferred drug because it was very disassociative. And you can go into something called a K hole when you're not present in the moment. You're just high and you're not really doing any actions. When asked if there was anything that she would avoid doing, she said, I really was against kissing. I just felt like that was too intimate, but it still happened anyways. So you weren't against them pissing in your mouth, but you was against kissing? I'm not getting it. Anyhow, let's stick to her thing first. So then Ventura told the courts that Diddy requests for freak-offs were relentless and even led to him derailing plans that she had for her 29th birthday. I wanted to go to the club called Blind Dragon and do karaoke with my friends, she said. After dinner, we were starting to head towards that way, like go to karaoke, dinner with my friends, but Sean let me know that he wanted me to have a freak off. And I was like, not right now. I just want to celebrate my birthday. So we ended up getting to Blind Dragon where I wanted to go, but he kept pulling me away from my friends. And so I just left. Because he was like, come on, let's go do the freak off. I told him I wanted to stay out and celebrate with my friends. I just didn't want to have the burden of doing the freak off at the end of the night since it's my birthday. He pulled me out so many times. Come on, let's go, let's go. Let's go do the freak off. That I just said, F it, and I went and we had the freak off. She then testified that Diddy then used videos of those orgies to blackmail her into performing more. So they asked her, when would Sean mention these types of videos? The attorney asked. She said, when he was angry about something or when he really wanted me to fear him. When he was upset about something, it was a pretty common thing. One time I dated someone else, and that was what it was all about. While I was dating someone else, he was always talking about those videos. I'm going to put out 2 embarrassing videos of you. He just wanted to hurt me. What did he say? The attorney asked her again. She replied that he was going to release them and he was going to embarrass me and put my career in jeopardy. That he would be mad even though to put them out, and then I would have to answer my mother. I feared for my career. I feared for my family. Just embarrassing. And it's horrible. And about the impact. Oh, wow. This computer, we're freezing. We're freezing. Let me know if we're good. We're freezing. Said, thank you, ladies. I hope they cement Diddy under the jail. Who said? Giving it a minute. Buffering. Man, I was about to. Nope. Every time I start talking, to cut off. Touch and go. Touch and go. We good? Yeah, man, I talk now. Georgette Seeley says talk. I was pausing for a minute because every